So in today's video, we're going to talk about my top 5 neighborhoods to live in Chesapeake, Virginia in 2023 coming up. Hey, my name is Sam Santalone, and I'm a real estate agent in the Hampton Roads area. That goes from Virginia Beach through Williamsburg, and I do videos every week about living and moving to the area. So today, top 5 neighborhoods in Chesapeake. I love Chesapeake for a variety of reasons, but there are specific neighborhoods that I think I love the most for right now, for 2023, that I think will definitely help you if you plan to relocate or move to Chesapeake in 2023. First of all, Chesapeake, I'm going to show you the general location of where Chesapeake is. It's a big city, and I've showed you before. It's like a horseshoe and goes all the way around the south part of Hampton Roads on the south side. So we'll share the screen. Start with number 5, which is 2 actually neighborhoods combined, which is Wingate Place and Norcova Estates. So I'm going to show you on the map where that is. We're going to be talking about in this one close to Greenbrier. If you've ever heard of Greenbrier, it's a great spot for shopping, and that's one of the reasons why I like this neighborhood, which is Norcova Estates and Wingate Place. Right here. Zooming out, you're close to a very popular golf course, Greenbrier Country Club, great country club, but you're also close to a major city park, Chesapeake City Park. This is a great central location. This is a big deal here. Number 1 is you're close to interstates. You're close to 64. It takes you to 464 towards Norfolk, and also zooming out towards 264 as well. You're probably about 20 minutes or so away from the center of Virginia Beach. So that's number 1, if not shorter. That's a big deal. Number 2 is that these houses are pretty affordable in terms of size in relation to price. So if you're looking at this neighborhood, a lot of these are what you would call Great Bridge specials, like these brick ranch style houses. Some of these are in the 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom price range. Some are in the 4-bedroom, 2-story houses as well. You get a mixture, but these houses in here are anywhere from like the mid 3s up into the 4s. But for location and size, and also age of house, and just the quality of construction, you'll find this is a very good value. And another thing you mentioned too, you'll see here, is that there are a lot of sidewalks, which can be, it's not as common as you would think to find sidewalks in any part of Hampton Roads, but you'll start seeing some in places like Wingate Place and Norcova Estates. So no HOA, another benefit to being in this neighborhood. And again, you're very close to easy access to main roads. Another benefit to this neighborhood is that you can find houses in here that are a little bit smaller, like 1,500 square feet, 1,700 square feet. They do exist, and that's where you can get an area or buy a house in an area that might have houses more expensive or be surrounded by houses that are more expensive, but you can keep your price lower. Now, it doesn't fit everything. So for example, like these houses being in the brick ranch 60s style houses, you're going to get the older, construction. So you have older, potentially unupdated electrical systems, older plumbing, more drainage ditches in some spots that don't have sidewalks. So you get a mixture of positives and maybe some negatives based on what you want. But that's why I'm always trying to find best deal value for the price, and to be in the 3s, even in low 4s, but often the $300,000 to $400,000 price range in Norcova Estates and Wingate Place. I think this is a great value for location, general location. For shopping, Harris Teeter grocery stores, as well as the Greenbrier Mall and all the big box stores that are up and down Greenbrier Parkway it's only literally just a drive like 6 minutes away from Wingate Place and Norcova Estates. So that's number 5. Number 4, we're going to go into the Hickory School District a little bit further south and show you Upton Farms. I've talked about various neighborhoods in and around Upton Farms before, and so you show you where this is. It's in the south, almost deep south part of Chesapeake, not in the super country, but you're getting close. This is kind of the edge to where the suburban area and the actual rural Chesapeake feel almost collide, if you will, but you're still in the suburban side of things. So Upton Farms is right off of Etheridge Manor Boulevard. This is this area right here. And so this area is great because you're off of a main thoroughfare in the south central Chesapeake area, Etheridge Manor Boulevard, but you're also near Centerville Turnpike, which goes all the way into Virginia Beach, into the South Virginia Beach area, as well as you're close to the newish bypass, the Route 168 Great Bridge bypass, which takes you even all the way down to North Carolina, or all the way into the center of Chesapeake into 464 and 64, which is awesome. So while you feel far away, you're actually not too far away from a lot of things. Close to shopping, Harris Teeter's a grocery store nearby. There's Harris Teeter right over here. So you're close to essentials. You're also close to a lot of the same things that we were talking about earlier as far as Greenbrier goes. You're about 12 to 15 minutes away from Greenbrier. And I'll drop a pin so you can see the neighborhoods. These houses are 3, mostly 4, and sometimes 5 bedrooms, and 400,000 price range, 4 to 5. You'll see some into the 5s. The style houses are in those early to mid 90s style. So you're starting to see more functional houses, and you're starting to see more kind of contemporary floor plans. You'll also see a mixture of open entryways, which is starting to be common in the 90s in Chesapeake too. And you're also pretty close to another neighborhood. Well, you're close to several neighborhoods nearby that are starting to go into the 6s and 7s price range, which going back to the price range of 4 to 5 and into the mid 5s, you'll find that that's a good value to be that close to other neighborhoods that are in much higher price ranges. You can get an in-demand school district like Hickory, which, for the price, I'd say it's very hard to find that kind of a thing. I'd say drawbacks, I'm not too concerned necessarily about polybutylene piping, but we're in the time period where that can be a situation. So I'd say if you do find a house in Upton Farms, just check when you get an inspection. Just check to make sure that the inspector checks to see if there is polybutylene piping, which in that time period had been known to rupture, and they don't make it anymore. But in some houses, they did put that in there in that time period. Now let's shift attention just north and west from Etheridge Manor, this Upton Farms area, cross Route 168 into a neighborhood called Foxgate Quarter. So we're getting into kind of the heart of Great Bridge. So you see Johnstown Road right here. This connects to Mount Pleasant, turns into Mount Pleasant here. And also, this is Battlefield Boulevard. There's a lot of shopping and restaurants up and down Battlefield Boulevard, going all the way up into the Greenbrier area where Greenbrier West is, where Sam's Club is, and Walmart. But going back further south, this section right here, Foxgate Quarter, we're right here. This neighborhood is where Foxgate Quarter is, and you'll find houses in here in the 4s, you'll find them in the 5s, you'll find them in the 6s, and so most of them are going to be in the low 5s, but you'll still see some in the 4s as well. This is a great spot for if you want 2,500 square foot house, 2,200 square foot house, even 28. You going into the 3s, you'll see some a little bit larger as well. That's where you'll find some of the prices going up. This has some similarities to what you'll find in Etheridge Manor and Upton Farms, but I think I really like the vibes of this neighborhood a lot. And so you'll find some that have like the brick style, like here. That also increases the price as well. So if you want brick, I'd focus on this area that has more frequency of brick, more so than maybe Upton Farms, which is mostly vinyl. One of the drawbacks to being in here is that it feels like suburbia a lot, which is fine. It's kind of how Chesapeake is, but you're tucked away just enough to where it feels like it's hard to get out of and get into the most of the shopping, even though it really isn't that far. It just feels like it. So you're going to come out of Foxgate Quarter onto Parker, and it takes you over into Battlefield Boulevard. It's going to take you more like 24 minutes to get to the center of Virginia Beach, or 25 or 26, as opposed to 22 or 20. Just that far enough away to where it might not be as comfortable. And you can also get access to Battlefield and also to Cedar Road, which is another main road with another neighborhood Walmart, more shopping up and down Cedar. But you'll find that between going to the west to Route 17 and also to the east at the Chesapeake, the Locks Bridge, Great Bridge, one has the bridge opening where you'll find that can be annoying to get across, or on the west side, you'll find that there is a toll on Route 17. So if there's a drawback to being here too, you're kind of sandwiched between those two things. You can go around both of those and avoid them, but it can still take you longer, closer to like 30. A little bit more than 30 minutes to get to the center of Virginia Beach, for example. So now let's shift attention back closer to the Greenbrier section and talk about an area that is an elegant, regal neighborhood. One of my favorites for the price is going to be Emerald Greens. So if you go back to where I showed you where Wingate and Norcova were, just south of Greenbrier Country Club, just north on the north side of Greenbrier Country Club is this area called Emerald Greens. Right here, it borders features the several holes on the golf course. These houses have more of a regal look to them, and a lot of them are just very customized. So you'll find unique unique roof lines. You'll find unique archways. You'll find very unique kind of styles of even the siding, or even of the kind of the architecture is just different to what you'd find in other parts of Chesapeake, or even in other parts of Hampton Roads. You'll see houses anywhere from the low sevens up into the $1.2+ million price range, and some of the larger ones that are like 6,000 plus square feet on the golf course. That's where you'll find like some houses that are really, really large, but also higher in price. So with the elegance, with the uniqueness, you'll find different things. For example, you might find some that have stucco siding or ephes. This is kind of it's a harder siding, but it might take some more maintenance than what you might expect. For example, if you wanted a brick house, ephes or a stucco might require a bit more than you might have bargained for. Now, that being said, you might find some that may have some of that polybutylene piping as well. Some of these houses, because of the price range that we're in, you might not find that as much, but it's still something I'd keep in mind when you do your inspection. But the sizes of the houses are pretty large. So the smaller ones are just under 3,000, but most of them are between 3,000 and maybe 4,500 to 5,000 square feet in the $7 to $1.2 million price range. School districts, Indian River High School District. So that's one of the reasons why people that might be wanting Hickory and Grassfield might tend to drift away from a neighborhood like this. But I'd say if you want house size for price and quality of neighborhood, just comfort and access to things, I do think that being in Emerald Greens is a very good option. Showing you on the map again, coming out of Emerald Greens, Volvo Parkway is the main road that you come out of. And coming out of Volvo Parkway, there's a ton of shopping. You're just down the street from Target, all the Greenbrier Mall spots, restaurants, Best Buy, Barnes & Noble, plenty of shopping, grocery stores. And you also can go the other direction and go down Kempsville Road and take you up towards Virginia Beach that way. So you're close to interstates, you're close to main roads, and you're only going to Emerald Greens if you live there, because it's basically a big cul-de-sac. You drive in and you drive out. There's no cut through, so it kind of cuts down on the amount of cars that come through here, even though you are near a lot of cars, you're near a lot of traffic, because you're close to so many other things that are going on. So that brings me to my number one neighborhood to buy and live in Chesapeake in 2023, which is Las Gaviotas. Now, I've talked about Las Gaviotas in other videos before, but I think it is still one of the best, I think the best for 2023, because it still continues to have one of the best combinations of size of house, style, functionality, location, access to other things, and still keeping in the price range that, might be, more manageable for as many people as possible. So going back into their Cedar Road right here. So this connects to Dominion and connects to Centerville Turnpike and the bypass. It's south of and near the Chesapeake Golf Club, excuse me. And just south of there, and for a small HOA, it's like $25 a month now, I think. You have access to there's a clubhouse. For a little bit more, you can pay to have access to the pool as well. So it's a very nice, well-designed area and neighborhood, and plenty of trees. And you'll find some various styles of houses, but it still has a similar feel to what you'd find in places like Upton Farms in that 80s and 90s age that a lot of the houses in Chesapeake are built, and which is kind of annoying, but also reality is that in Chesapeake you'll find a lot of the biggest boom in the city and growth was in the 80s and 90s and even into 2000s, which leads to a lot of the houses built in that time period were similar style. But houses in here are priced anywhere in the 4s into the 5s, and you'll see some creeping up into the 6s now, but mostly in the 4s and 5s. 4-bedroom is very common, 4 to 5 bedroom houses. 2,000 to 3,000 square feet. Again, you'll see something a little bit larger than that, but for the demand of school district, which is Grassfield, for the demand of the functionality of the house, the style and the size and the feel of the neighborhood, and access to other things, I think that you will find that Las Gaviotas will continue to be one of the best buys in Chesapeake for 2023 and potentially going forward for a little bit. The biggest drawback is what I mentioned before about the tolls. You're still between Dominion Boulevard on the west and 168, Battlefield Boulevard and the Locks Bridge, Great Bridge Bridge on the east side. So you're going to have to get around those two. You have to go a little bit further to get to Virginia Beach into maybe even Norfolk. So I'd say that's the one big negative to being here. Otherwise, it's just bang for buck. I think it fits the bill for, it checks a lot of boxes for people wanting to be in Chesapeake and living in a school district that people want to move to as well. So if you have any more questions about living in Chesapeake or relocating into Virginia Beach, anywhere in Hampton Roads, please let me know. I've got my contact information in the description. You can email me, call me, text me at any point, and I'll do whatever I can to help you relocate to the area. And I will see you on the next video.